You want to play the game. My game. By my rules. I am the gatekeeper. I rule this game. You will be punished. I'd like to punish one of you now. Yes, you! Answer me, you maggot! Move your mark to the closest black hole. Do not forget, for you will all be called, and you will all be tested.
Rising with each beat that the music is bringing, we're flames in the fire that keeps burning. We're inviting the night in.
How's it going, everybody? This is Novakast, back with another video, and honestly, it's been a while since I've actually done a video like this. And if I do a video like this, it's few and far between, because to an extent, I've kind of tried to make it my goal to kind of push away from drama. But I gotta say my piece on this, because to an extent, not only does this affect me, but affect everybody if it's not resolved, and to an extent is honestly shuns the name of reviewer or critic or commentator to an extent, and puts us in a bad light when you have individuals like this. Now, before we begin, I want to mention something really quickly, kind of give a backstory to how this all started. To an extent, recently, the game Elden Ring came out. And although I have not played it, I've seen other people play it, and it looks a lot of fun. And I want to bring something up, because to an extent, it's been hilarious with some of the hot takes on that one, or that particular game. First, I've played a couple of the Souls games, and I've, to an extent, finished Bloodborne. And for those who have never played the game and are getting frustrated over the difficulty, it is one of those games that honestly challenges you. Aesthetic and imagery is beautiful as time has progressed, especially with, you know, the earlier games too. My favorite being, of course, Bloodborne. But all in all, it's their own style of creating content when it comes down to what they want in a game. Some people want racing games. Some people want, you know, RPGs where they can, you know, increase or decrease level at will. And some people honestly just want a challenge. That's honestly the prerogative of the creator to create the game that they want to create, which is how it should be. But to an extent, certain people who are bitter want to, you know, try to force ideals onto companies. We've had that already happen a couple of times with a variety of other communities trying to force certain ideals on popular games, which to an extent did not work out for them. But anywho, regardless, Elden Ring so far, a lot of people love it. It's a challenging game, sure, but at the same time, enjoyable. Not enjoyable for those who can't get good. And I know I sound like I'm being a dick, and at this point, if I end up seeming like that as we progress through the episode or the video, be warned. Now that we've gotten out of, you know, got that out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about this. So, to take part in what I was just talking about, the hot takes. Several people did reviews of the game, and to an extent, one of them, which I think is hilarious, where he basically skips through the tutorial and attacks an NPC just idiotically, to the point where for those who know, if you attack an NPC, especially towards a bonfire, then they will beat you down every time you respawn. To an extent, that was stupid, and I guess after that whole moment, the guy quit and didn't want to play the game anymore. Then we have this individual, Quantum TV, who I will rename or kind of dub as LowTierGod 2.0. Few of you will probably get that reference and know exactly what I'm getting at with using that particular handle. But anyways, Quantum TV is an individual who mostly focuses on reviewing TV settings, though that might be controversial because other reviewers like Angry Joe have called him out for situations of scamming consumers, or if anything, scamming people when it comes down to the quote-unquote TV settings, and I guess bad-mouthing another reviewer or TV reviewer. But going forward, is a TV reviewer that on and off, I guess, reviews TVs, and to an extent reviewed, or I can't even call it a review. Looking at the original video, I mean, before he had the chance to delete it, reviewed Elden Ring. And to an extent, it was not the best possible video. So much so, in fact, that when people were calling him out on a lot of the things that he said in that particular video, it got very aggressive to the point where he was literally telling people to kill themselves. And that, you know, kind of pulling, you know, jabs at individuals who had issues with his critiques, to the point where it was kind of like trying to do personal attacks on people, which again kind of reminds me of another individual that we know on the internet. But I digress. Regardless, due to the unhealthy behavior of this individual and I guess aggressive tone that he's presented, a variety of YouTubers have come up and talked about him. It started off with Mischief giving his points about the review, and soon after, individuals like Ackman and Review Tech USA started getting involved. And it's gotten to the point where this individual is not particularly happy with some of the things that they are saying, or like the critiques, which to an extent it gets hilarious, because like a lot of people on the internet who can't handle criticism, tries to perform false copyright claims and takedowns of people's videos. I know, it's really fucking pathetic. And to an extent, I wanted to do a video like this where I give my response, as well as kind of go over a video that more than likely will probably be deleted off his video, because to an extent it's another hot take to his madness. But I want to say something. If I haven't said it already, this kind of behavior that this individual presents is not okay. In fact, if anything, it kind of displays a negative effect on people in the commentator community, reviewers, critics, etc. And me personally, I've learned, especially when it comes down to criticism, that either, especially early on when it comes down to video or video production, you either can accept criticism and learn from it and grow, or to an extent where the point you can't handle criticism, you just get off the fucking internet. Because again, this is another individual who more likely has his head so far up his ass that because he has so many subscribers, he thinks he can say or do whatever he wants. This is an individual who looks at, you know, criticism and is like, what the fuck do they know? You know, I'm some hot shit with, you know, so many subscribers. I can just, you know, false copyright claim the video, even though by definition, when it comes down to the fair use law, especially when it comes down to, you know, people looking at your video, breaking it down piece by piece and giving their points of view of that particular content, it becomes transformative in that nature, and also, again, is protected by fair use law. Look it up. And to an extent, it's very clear how closeted this guy is, considering the fact, and I say that Not as, you know, the homosexual term. I'm saying that as, you know, closeted as in this guy is not particular or have any particular understanding when it comes down to the rules or anything, the laws governing YouTube. And to an extent does not understand the fact that, you know, people who take your video and respond to it is not stealing. In fact, it's quite the opposite. And again, if they add something to your video, it becomes transformative, and forgo becomes fair use. But anyway, also, just so you guys know, and I'm like 10 minutes in already, just so you guys know, I'll be linking the channel links for the Actman, Review Tech USA, and I ask you guys to check out the Actman's recent video, which is called The Copyright Abuse on YouTube featuring Quantum TV. It goes into extensive detail on a lot of the things that he's been done when it comes down to his behavior, him telling people to kill themselves because they had some issues with his review, his to an extent his hateful nature involving, you know, certain communities, as well as to an extent, especially with a particular picture that he commented on, talking about how these two people who were kissing should have been part of a mass, or should have been present during a mass shooting. Says a lot about the individual, and to an extent is an all-out jackass. But again, I digress. I want to get into the meat of the video, which is a quick response to a video that he posted. Quantum TV is under attack by the Great Value Avengers. Oh boy, this is going to be something. So let's go ahead and get right into it.
So as of late, a lot of fake accounts have been making a lot of posts as me, and
You're a fucking idiot. This needs to stop now.
If he's talking about the posts that have been left on his channel for quite a while, it's kind of funny considering the fact that, you know, all of a sudden he started calling them fake after the fact he was, you know, called out on it. And for the longest time, even though he claims, by the way, he also claims that he was hacked on some of his accounts, when he got his, you know, accounts back, those particular posts or particular hateful posts were still present on his platform. So it begs the question, were they actually fake? I think you guys all know the answer though. So let's continue. Oh, by the way, FYI, before we continue, even though I just said we were going to continue, I want to give you a quick hint of Transformative Works, Quantum TV, asshat. Because I'm sure I'll probably have to bring this up a couple times, but to kind of give you an example of a transformative work, what I have for my background, or what I use, you know, to give my points, is something that I created. And with your particular video, although I shouldn't have to censor it with my cute little image that I've shared on the video so far, basically being over your video, I have your video stretched out to a 1080p setting, whereas like the original screen resolution, or at least the size, was considered close to a box setting for the screen size, so, or at least the dimensions of the video. So to an extent, that's some examples of transformative work and Vargo fair use. So suck it.
I predict it'll get worse.
Oh, I'm sure it will, if you keep lying about everything.
Now, these accounts are being taken as factually words that I've said and statements that I've said. So I'm just kind of here to let you guys know that people that hate me will absolutely say whatever they want. And again, it probably is going to get worse because nobody cares about checking where this stuff came from.
I smell job. You're ugly.
So, to an extent, looking at some of the videos from channels like, let's say, the Actman or Review Tech USA, I am not, and believe me when I say this, I don't know the personalities of the individuals that are responsible for creating the content on those platforms. But I will say, when it comes down to reporting or their videos, especially when it comes down to commentary itself, it's, for the most part, trying to be very unbiased. But to an extent, when people say stupid shit, they will call it out. And also, something I should probably mention too, anything that they say is backed up by evidence, by the individual that is saying it. So this whole thing of, or this whole comment of, oh, people are just going to say whatever they want to say, is complete and utter bullshit. Considering the fact that a lot of the stuff said is literally pulled from your accounts and from your videos. It's you that's saying it, not us.
And so as a result, I've been getting a barrage of hate comments from, of course, public opinion based off of these people that seem to want to run with fake comments.
Did I ever tell you what the definition of insanity is? Insanity is doing the exact same fucking thing over and over again, expecting shit to change. That is crazy. Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity?
So, first, it's not just public opinion. Again, backed up by evidence, by, posts that have been on your YouTube channel, which, by the way, to an extent, every time a bad take comes up when it comes down to your videos, and it's not getting the traction that you want, you proceed to remove it and upload another video. But then doing the same thing over and over again, which people are probably wondering why I use that clip of, Far Cry 3 with Voz talking about the definition of insanity. That's why. You think that by repeating yourself over and over again, claiming that, oh, it's just because of public opinion. No, it's not just because of public opinion. People are not happy with you. Not just because of your bad take with Elden Ring, because your repeated harassment towards other content creators, your false copyright claiming of people's videos, your controversial behavior and conversation on social media, and a variety of other things that were on your accounts. Now again, you can claim that they were hacked, but to an extent, especially evidence presented towards, or at least from, other content creators, it makes no sense that they were quote-unquote hacked, considering that, again, when you claimed you got your social media back with particular accounts, some of those posts were still present, and only after you were called out were you deleting comments, as well as deleting posts. So, I'm sorry, but it's not just public opinion that people hate you. It's not public opinion. It's not just public opinion that people are leaving you hate comments. It's because by evidence shown, you're a piece of shit.
Now, the people who are behind this know full and well what they're doing, and they know the kind of damage that it can cause when you cause rumors.
So, once again, what is being said, what is being brought up is not rumor, but rather evidence pulled from your own accounts. It's things that you have posted, things that you have said, things that you've put in your videos. All of it evidence against you.
They even know and have been made aware that there are Quantum TV impersonators, as they pretend like it's not happening and everything I'm showing is fake. I wasn't hacked and all that stuff that they claim. They know impersonations are out there.
So, I hate to break it to you, and I want to explain this because it's actually really funny, and to an extent, your channel name, your handle, is not, to an extent, original. I hate to break it to you, but if you were to type in your channel handle, that being, or channel name, that being Quantum TV, you'll find several other channels that have the same name. Heck, if you do the same thing with Drum Alert, the same thing's gonna, happen. Do the same thing with, let's say, my handle, Novakast. Same results. The fact of the matter is there are other channels that have the same name and more likely will produce different content. However, and this is a bit this kind of differentiates the situation, because there's a difference between somebody who has created a different account that uses the same handle to somebody like yourself who has their Facebook and Twitter under the same name and to an extent is connected to your YouTube channel and presents evidence of being a very shitty individual. And at this point, screenshots and evidence is being collected for you presenting yourself as a shitty individual. So again, there's a difference between those two things.
I want you to pay attention to how easily they fall for all of the fake correspondence. It's not hard to see that this is somebody trolling, but this is how it happens. This is how rumors become fact in the minds of the uneducated.
Let's talk about rumors and facts. So, by definition, a rumor is a currently circulating story or report of uncertain or doubtful truth, whereas fact is a thing that is known or proved to be true. Now, currently, especially when it comes down to, because at this point it's like talking to a child. Looking at what has been presented so far by some of the other channels, which again, link will be in the description with the channels presented or discussed. A couple of them being, Review Tech USA, Actman, and several others. They have presented fact, evidence that you didn't have the chance to delete, by the way, proving some of the things that you've said and done. So you can't continuously call it rumor when it has been proven already to be true. Which, by the way, I kind of find it funny that your channel banner basically says the #1 brand in honesty. What a load of garbage.
You're bullying me because I'm black. There ain't no way, Chief. No one
Wait, I didn't
cares
see
about
that.
race. Yeah, I'll put it on.
Oh no. Oh no. Dude.
No!
When you have no other options.
I fucking predicted it like a couple weeks ago. He was gonna play that.
You ran out of points to make, so he just went straight for the race car.
Oh my god. Boy.
You might have the race card, but I have Exodia.
Like the race car comment is fake? Alright, oh well. If it's a fake account, I'll ban him. I'll double check that.
Yeah, double check that.
Alright, in fairness, that one is fake. I'll give you that one, Quantum. Yeah, I'll ban that account, Dora.
Oh, okay. So that wasn't him.
Yeah.
That said you're bullying me because I'm black.
In fairness, guys, that's
was
our bad.
not him?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was it.
Notice how easily fooled they are. One side of my face and my name, and that's all it takes to become the person saying whatever it is that they want to claim that I'm saying.
Though you have to give them credit, they did correct themselves. And to an extent, as I said before, something like this is bound to happen, because you're going to have a variety of other people that are going to be using the same handle. Now, granted, with this individual, more than likely, it was a troll. Which, you know, something like that is, you know, expected in the YouTube space, or actually, if anything, the internet space. But to an extent, again, you have to give them credit in the fact that they did correct themselves in making a mistake. But you're not going to see it as that, because, you know, at this point, you want to try to make it seem like, or discredit the individuals that are giving you shit right now, aren't you?
And this isn't the only time in the stream it happened. It happened multiple times, but just to kind of establish what I'm talking about, I'll show you one more example. You can hunt for the rest in their 2-hour stream if you decide, but you are going to get a clear idea as to what's going on here after this next clip.
You're all mad that I put actual facts about everything. The game is trash.
Oh man, another fake account.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, how many people are
We can't, dude. If you just joined the call.
Like, exactly. Why would anyone want to impersonate him? Because it's fucking funny.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, looking at it, and especially looking at the evidence presented, or at least that you've presented, at this point, I can just see, or at least say, that the individuals who were, you know, creating accounts resembling yours were more likely just fucking around and being trolls. Because at this point, I think to quote Mischief and them on their stream, I mean, at this point, the situation is laughable. Especially with, again, some of your hot takes on something that honestly was kind of benign when it comes down to, you know, Elder Ring. Actually, if anything, when it came down to your review, it was disingenuous and very, very despicable, to say the least.
Now, if all that's not bad enough, I'm constantly getting text messages all the time about stuff like this kind of content being posted on things like Reddit. So, again, I have no idea what the hell's going on. But again, these kinds of comments with the Quantum TV name or profile picture that's ripped down and posted elsewhere or whatever ends up leading to hate comments. And I have so many of those, as you guys can clearly see. I mean, what the hell? It's an endless horde of stuck pigs, really. I mean, you guys really think you're doing something, but you're not. You guys aren't going to stop me from fighting for the consumer and doing what I've always done. If I have an opinion or a view on a product, and I tell you it's a bad product, or I tell you I don't like the product, it's not going to change because you want to send a horde of trolls that whine about it. That doesn't do anything.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'd rather, I mean, me personally, considering the evidence, I'd rather not be one of those people that actually listens to your advice. I mean, considering, one, your piss poor Elder Ring review, as well as larger creators like, for instance, Angry Joe has called you out on some of your ethics, your reviews.
But this video is more so to my community. Just be aware. You will very likely in the comments on other videos like FOMO, or maybe on Reddit or Discord or Twitter or Instagram or other places where I'm just not at, you'll probably see people say things with the Quantum TV logo.
I don't know about you guys, but to an extent, this kinda is making me feel of a sense of deja vu. And in a sense, like, what it sounds like this guy is saying is basically, if you see my name being used in a video, or at least another channel, don't listen to it. Because at this point, I am the only fact machine. Again, I'm getting the sense of deja vu that I've heard that before. But in reality, here's the situation, especially when you bring up hate comments. To the extent, a lot of the hate is coming from people who have kind of seen portions of the real you. Or at least evidence of some of the things you've said and did. Things that you yourself have posted. And it's on you for being an idiot and doing things that honestly are disgraceful, and to the point where you thought that you weren't going to get backlash for, and you are now. So, yeah.
Always click to see if it's me, and then more importantly, always make sure that I'm not currently hacked, because that's a thing that does tend to go on, and I'm actually currently still fighting these kinds of cyber attacks because these passionate loser gamers, for whatever reason, get really good at technical skills and they learn how to do really fucked up shit like hack you.
Alright, cool your jets, Glenbeck. Just because some of us have played Watch Dogs does not mean that we automatically have absorbed the information as to how to hack or understand the quantities or the abilities of hacking accounts. I don't know why people get that assumption where all of a sudden, because gamers play certain games, that they gain this ability or gain the abilities that are attributed to that game. Like, for whatever reason, if I play The Witcher, do I somehow learn Witcher signs where I can cast fire, use, unrelenting wind, or if anything, to an extent, are able to confuse people? Or how about Call of Duty, where I suddenly have the knowledge to use a variety of different weaponry and have the understanding of combat tactics and so on? That whole statement is so fucking stupid, and it's always been stupid, especially when it comes down to the media at large, when it came to attacking video games, or if anything, attacking gamers.
So I always have to deal with these kinds of attacks, and don't think for a second people who are willing to leave this level of hatred about me off of the opinion of a friend is somebody that's not dedicated enough to attacking. So again, just be aware. If you see some shit, hey, it is what it is. Let me know about it and I'll deal with it as I can. Thanks for watching the #1 brand in honesty. We're going to get back to more AV content. Just wanted to address the bullshit that people are whining about. And until the next video, I'll see you guys later.
Okay, so let's go over this a little bit. First, there's a difference between rumor and fact. We've already addressed that. Especially when, at this current time, a lot of things that have been said or have been brought up has literally been pulled from your social media, from your own accounts, before you were claiming that all of a sudden that you were hacked, and inevitably after you were called out were immediately deleting said comments. When it comes down to it, when it comes down to accounts using, the same handle or channel name, granted, there are trolls, but to the extent there are other people that use the same name. Your name is not original. There are other people that use the same channel name like yours. And when it comes down to it, I think the bottom line when it comes down to everything that goes on, he wouldn't have all this hate if he didn't produce, I want to say biased, but at the same time, probably one of the most lackluster and just inept and dishonest reviews that you could present on the platform. And that's saying a lot. And there's quite a few people on this platform too that have done the exact same thing. But to the extent, not only presenting this, what would be called a review, but also when people were calling you out on some of the things you said and presenting some of your hot takes on that review, you tried to double down and then triple down and then quadruple down and try to push the evidence, basically creating the Streisand effect. And for those who don't know what the Streisand effect is, it's literally a situation that has been created thanks to Barbra Streisand, who basically had a picture taken of her house and eventually did everything she could within her power to have that picture removed from existence. And to an extent, that made more and more people interested as to why she was trying to, have that picture removed. It's basically the same thing that's happening here. Because to an extent, with everything after his review, he deleted it, he made a response after that, then deleted that, especially with, one of these videos, he's basically telling people to go kill themselves. And to an extent, with everything, like every time he makes a video deleting it, more and more stuff about him started to pop up when people looked more into him. And if anything, especially if you want a person to blame, by the way, Quantum TV, about a lot of this misfortune that you're having, a lot of the hate that you're receiving, it's your fault. I know you don't want to see it that way, but it's literally your own fault for being a piece of shit. For false copyright claiming people's videos, for very controversial claims and responses when it comes down to, you know, certain topics, and a variety of other things, as well as shitting on a community that more than likely would have called you out for a shitty take on a video game, as well as going above and beyond to try to false copyright claim people's videos and try to silence people. Which, by the way, since I already used or discussed transformative works at the beginning of this video, I want to make something very clear. So at this point in time, by the way, anything that, again, when it comes down to commentary itself, because again, that's protected by fair use law. And by the way, in my description, there is a section where I discuss that, you know, by definition, this video is protected by fair use. Transformative work. I made an example earlier, but let's talk about this real quick. So, your initial video that I discussed, this particular video, which is Quantum TV is under attack by the Great Value Avengers, is about 5 minutes long. I have cut this video down, discussed it, and to an extent, as the current point of this video, I'm already in 37 minutes into a video. 37, by the way. Or 37 and 30 seconds. I should, you know, kind of correct myself there. But I'm proving a point, because to an extent, I've taken your 5-minute video, broken it down, added clips, or to add to humor, as well as given my commentary, as well as, you know, my points of view, as well as discussion points when it comes down to what you say and do. And not only that, but even though I shouldn't have needed to, I also stretched out your image, your video, and also put a censor image over your video to prove a point. Because at this point, I've edited your video, I've put commentary into certain areas, or split it so I can put commentary in, and therefore, not only is this your video becomes transformative, but also becomes part of my video, and therefore protected by fair use. So to the extent this video, as well as other videos that have discussed you, are protected by fair use law. You may not like that, but that's just the way it is. And another thing too, and I know I'm kind of getting long into this. So, in the title, I call him LowTierGod 2.0. For those who don't know who LowTierGod is, that's an individual who is not only a harasser, a bully, but an individual who does not take criticism quite well.